Hi, my name is Donna Swanson, and I'm the co-founder and executive director of Focus Center for Autism and the Fresh Start School. We've been in business for 21 years, and we are currently going to be doing an episode of Life on the Spectrum for Nutmeg TV, and it also goes on our YouTube channel, Life on the Spectrum. And we have, like I said, we've been in business for 21 years. We've been providing services to the autism community. We have a school, the Fresh Start School. It's a special education, approved special education program. It's been in existence for 5 years. Like I said, we've been providing services for 21 years. We also have 2 residential programs. We have a group home in Barkhamsted for teenagers with trauma and autism, ages 14 to 21, and then we also have a young adult and working on adult programming in Washington, supportive housing, not Washington, it's called Washington House, and it's a supportive housing program in Torrington. And we do have support services that we have support groups, we have, right now we've been doing a lot of things virtually, for check-in groups and social clubs, etc., because we found a real need during the pandemic to reach out to people that were very lonely. So Sharon Cable has been running that program for us. Would love you guys to like us on our Focus Center for Autism Facebook page, and also the Fresh Start School page. Check out our website. Like I said, we look forward to these episodes. Today I have the pleasure. Today you're getting a 2-for, but you don't really know that because it's 2 different episodes. But it's going to be with the Brodeur Shine family, or is it the Shine Brodeur family?
That's the Brodeur Shine.
Brodeur Shine. We have Jeannette Brodeur, who is the fantastic mother of 3 young children. I call them young children because I've known them since they were young. And this is Aaron, who I can't believe is 22 years old. And after this show, we're going to be filming another one because with Harley Shine, who started with us when he was 13 years old and has gone from the autism journey to the transgender journey. And we really wanted to get that out during Pride Month, and this was the day that we could do it. So just notice that it's June 30th. We made it for Pride Month, but I don't know when it will be aired. So one of the things that we like to do on our Life on the Spectrum is to talk about life on the spectrum. What a coincidence, huh, Aaron?
Yes.
Yes. And Aaron is one of our sweet souls. I don't think you've ever been in trouble. Has he ever been in trouble?
No, not really. I mean, he's had a little, anger when he was very young.
Yeah.
But he's really come a long way. But he would never get in trouble. He would just have a hard time sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's pretty normal. Now, how did you know that Aaron was on the spectrum?
Well, he was. It was actually thanks to my mother-in-law. He went to a family outing in Texas, and he was with some cousins who were the same age, and my mother-in-law noticed that he was playing very differently from his cousins, and we always noticed that he was pretty quiet.
Yeah.
He was a very easy baby. He was very easygoing, just as he is now. Right. And I remember where I was in my kitchen when she tearfully said to me, her best friend was a guidance counselor, and they had talked about Aaron, and she said how she noticed he wasn't playing with his cousins of the same age, and she said, I think he might have autism. And she told me some of the symptoms and the different things about it, and as she talked about it, I thought, yes. I mean, a light went on, and I thought, yes. And she said, I hope you don't hate me for this. And I said, no, it's a relief to know what this is, what's going on, and now that we know, we can do something with that.
What do you think about what she's saying?
I think that's true.
Yeah. And one of the things that because I had you guys on an unplugged panel, we do the Autism Spectrum Unplugged panel. So if anybody ever wants us to come out and talk, you tell us what your needs are. I have so many kids that want to tell their story and to help you understand autism. But one of the things that I was fascinated with is Jillian, who's the baby, right? Mm-hmm. That's your baby sister. When Harley was in school, she got bullied. But you never did get bullied in school, and Jillian she's the one that remarked on that. She's the one that brought that to light, and she had her own theory on why you didn't get bullied. But do you know what that was, or do you know what that was, Jeannette?
I think it's because Aaron presented as autistic maybe a little bit more, and because he was in the same school district from when he was 4 years old, through high school, that they were very protective of him.
Yes.
They were his classmates, and I remember one of his aides telling me that there was a new kid that came to town, and this kid tried to make fun of Aaron, and all the other kids gathered around and said, "You're not going to do this. This is our friend Aaron."
Yeah, that makes me want to get tearful. It does, because Aaron, I think that's one of your strengths, is that you really have that ability to have people connect with you without you even trying.
Yes.
It's you just, people see your sweetness, your goodness, and even though you're very quiet, you speak volumes in your quietness. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yep, I do.
Tell me. You know I'm going to make you do stuff, right?
All right. So when it comes to talking, I usually talk very softly.
Yeah. And what about, if you usually only talk when you have something to say, right?
Correct.
But you don't miss anything either.
Oh, no.
Nope, not at all.
He has a fantastic memory.
I know.
And what could you talk about all day?
Music.
Yes. Yeah. I remember that, and he actually does some DJ work for us when we have our socials.
That is right. I am very good at that, and it's been quite a skill I've developed.
Right, you've come up with these great playlists, and when we used to be able to meet in person and have parties and stuff, you would be our DJ.
And DJ.
And you have a knack for knowing what people like. And when we have our luncheons at Washington House, you come up with the playlist, and everybody's always happy. But you like the 80s a lot, right?
Yep, I started getting into 80s music as a teenager, and one of my favorite 80s songs is Take On Me by A-ha.
Yes, aha.
And what do you like about that?
I like that it's very groovy.
It's groovy.
And that also it's got a very energetic vibe that goes with it.
Yep. So it makes you feel happy?
Yeah.
Yep. Because music can definitely fit our moods.
Yes.
Eric, I'm looking at Eric, but I meant to say Aaron. You have some things that you were going to share with us.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of us being us, is that we make mistakes and we just keep right on going, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
All right. So tell me some of the things that you wanted to say on TV.
Okay. My favorite part about Focus Camp was swimming. I'm a very strong swimmer.
Yes.
And I loved going in the water a lot. I could swim for hours and hours.
You still can, yeah.
You're a water boy.
Yes.
You like the swimming, and tell me, and we'll get to some of this, but how does autism affect you? What are your challenges?
My biggest challenge is controlling the sillies.
Okay, tell me about the sillies.
All right, so when I was 11 and a half, I got pulled out of the classroom for laughing in the 5th grade, and And my mom complained to the school about me being out in the hallway, and then straightened things out.
Because what didn't she like about you being in the hallway?
That it wasn't right.
Right.
It was a wrongful punishment.
Yeah.
The punishment did not fit the
No, it
behavior, right?
No, it did not.
And it did not. It made you. How did that make you feel to go out in the hallway?
Upset.
Yeah, upset and what? Because why?
Because it made me feel left out.
Mm-hmm. So it's very important for you, and that's what a lot of the people on the spectrum say when they're on the panel is belonging. You know, that everybody
Yes.
wants to belong, right?
Right.
And you know, one of the things that you did when you were in high school was you found ways to fit in, right? And maybe even sooner.
Right.
With how?
Running. That was the one thing I found. That I
You
could
started
fit in.
that in elementary school, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
At age 10 in the 4th grade.
Yes. One of the elementary school teachers had a running club, and Aaron decided on his own, that sounds fun. I'm going to try that. And he has been running ever since.
I know he was on track.
Yes, yes.
Which was, and did, you know, one of our kids was on track, and he said he felt like he belonged on the track team, but he also didn't feel like he belonged socially. That people were nice to him, and when he'd go to track parties or whatever, everybody was nice to him, but he didn't necessarily feel like he was one of the guys. How did you feel?
I felt like it was something I belong with.
Okay, so you felt like one of the guys.
Yep.
And did you make any friends out of that deal?
Yeah, yes, I did. I met a friend, Aaron Also Brooks.
Who's also on the spectrum.
Who came to Focus,
Yep,
yes.
He lived up the street from where I lived.
Right, right. It's funny how they end up connecting,
Right.
you know, that way. Yeah.
And so your biggest challenge is, what did you say your biggest challenge was for autism?
Controlling the giggles.
The giggles.
Was
Yeah.
my biggest challenge.
Yeah. Is it still?
Not as much anymore.
But you can still get the giggles?
Yep, sometimes at unknown times it'll happen out of the blue.
Uh-huh. And then what do people say? What do they think?
Well, sometimes they'll get confused.
So they get confused.
Yep.
And how do you handle their confusion?
I try to tell them I'm taking a breather.
A giggle breather?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
And that helps you, right?
Right. I do this to control them.
Yeah.
Yeah, to calm down. Yeah.
Sort of self-stimming.
Yep. That's
And
what I do.
And how does that, were you a flapper too at any time in your life, or yeah?
You used to be, yeah, yeah.
So now you just kind of calm yourself down.
Yep. By doing that with
Yeah.
my hands.
Yeah.
I think he soothes himself really. It's like after years, I mean, it just sort of stopped. I mean, maybe from school and from having the right therapies that he just didn't need to do that. He maybe found another way to kind of get out that anxiousness.
Yeah.
And work with it. And I bet running has really helped that nervousness, I would imagine.
The pandemic, was it hard for you?
No.
Because you think yes?
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was. To tell you the truth, I think that Aaron made more friends online with the Focus Young Adult group that met each day. And I think they all connected in a way they may not have connected with in person because it was less intimidating and they sort of had a little bit of a separation.
Yep.
And all they had was online to ask questions and to talk to each other.
Right.
They had to talk to each other. And so then by the time they did meet in person, they were so excited to like see each other.
Right.
And they had all these things in common that they talked about every day during the pandemic. I mean, you made some really wonderful friends.
Yep, it was a wonderful establishment.
Do you remember what Mike Gethers said to you?
he
the other
said
day?
that I'm the best.
You're like the what?
I'm like the best brother that he ever had.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
I think that that's very true. For a lot of people have through the virtual connections, and you were always you've been so faithful about attending, and I think that you've made a difference in many people's lives, as well as it making a difference in your life. And I do think that you did well during the pandemic.
Yes.
I do. I wonder how do you think you would have done if you didn't have those connections?
I think that without meeting these people online, I would have had a pretty unstable connection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you'd be all alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
But thankfully now I have a good connection.
Yep, and
Yeah.
it's gonna continue, and hopefully we're gonna be able to do more things in person, and
Yes.
and that's why today is so exciting. We're here at we're filming at our annex, our second where our school is, and you guys have not been here before, but we're trying to change things up so that we can do as many shows as we can. So I really appreciate that you guys came today. Did I ask you what I think your biggest strength is? I did ask you what your challenge is. What do you think your autistic ability is? Your autistic strength?
Oh, that I can get up by myself, and also I know how to do my laundry on my own, and to take care of the dishes too.
So your self-care
Yep.
has gotten right up there.
Yep, it has.
Well, one of the things what would you say his autistic ability is that's contributed, directly from his autism? I know what I think, but
I think his memory.
that's what I was
His
gonna
memory
say.
is fantastic. He can remember things from when he was a kid. He can remember cars people had. He can remember conversations. He has an incredible memory, I'm jealous of your memory,
Yes.
Erin.
I am too. It's pretty awesome.
That's a superpower, I think. Yeah.
So what advice would you have for parents or for other kids who are struggling on the spectrum, and what advice do you have?
To be patient with them and give them the time to find their strength.
Okay, and also especially for somebody, I think with like you, who takes their time to get the words out, that patience, giving them the patience to have their voice too, and not try and rush people, because then you forget what you wanted to say.
Correct.
What would you say, Jeannette?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of hidden gifts in people with autism, and you just have to be patient to let it unfold and to be open to learning about different kinds of people and different interests, and they can teach you so much. I mean, these kids have taught me so much.
I agree, and our definition, I should say, my definition of autism is creatively wired and socially challenged, and because no two people with autism are the same, and they have, everybody shares similar clusters of symptoms or issues, like the anxiety. You can have sensory issues. You can, like, you do have sensory issues. What is one of the things that you've used over time?
Headphones.
Yes. What are they called?
Uh,
Noise canceling or
Noise canceling
Yes.
headphones. Yep.
Yeah. And when do you use those?
When I was a teenager, I used them to, when the dogs would bark, that's when I would use them, or when I'm sleeping at night, when the TV was on, that's when I would have them on, and then take them off at some point.
Mm-hmm. Because sometimes some of the noises upset you, right?
Yep. And I currently don't use them as much as I do when I was younger. So thankfully, I've eliminated my habit.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think things have changed?
Well, because if I didn't take off the headphones, then it wouldn't be good for my health to use them all the time.
You'd miss out on things.
Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I think, well, I remember last week, do you remember what happened? We were at a car, and what happened? It was someone's car, and you were in front of it. And what happened? The car was parked, and what went off?
The alarm?
The alarm, yeah, and I went without the headphones and laughed.
He laughed, which that would never happen when he was younger. He would have a horrible time with it. He would be very upset. He would probably have a tantrum. And to hear him giggle
Mm-hmm.
when a car alarm went off, it was like, wow.
So you're feeling more comfortable with yourself.
Yep, nowadays.
What are your dreams? What are some of your dreams? You're 22 now. What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Project Search September 7th.
What's that?
It's a hospital program where I'll discover multiple jobs, such as organizing, filing, and cooking. I'm going to be giving the cooking a try.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what else? What do you want to be when you grow up? Do you know?
I'm going to be a radio DJ. I'm gonna do college radio.
That would be great.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you thought about where or how are you going to go to college or?
Well, for the moment, I'm gonna go to Northwestern. That it's nearby Winstead.
Yep, it's a great school.
I'm gonna take 2 classes there. I'm gonna take writing and math.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow.
You
didn't
like
tell me
math?
math. Wow.
You like math?
Yep, it's a good. That way I can improve some skills for adding and subtracting, and of course for writing I'm gonna improve my writing skills as well.
Jeannette, what advice do you have for parents?
I think just to be open and to,
Thank you.
accept the
Welcome.
gifts that your child has, and to make the most of what they can do, not focus on what they can't do, and to let their gifts unfold naturally. It may not go in the way as quickly as you want it to, but there's definitely some good things ahead for everyone.
And I think you said something that was focus on what they can do,
Mm-hmm.
not what they can't do.
Absolutely.
And here you have 3 children,
Mm-hmm.
2 of them on the spectrum. So you had to juggle parenting styles because your children are very different.
Yes.
So, what advice do you have for that? And also for siblings, how did you make sure that Jillian didn't feel left out?
I tried very hard to spend different times with each of them so that they each got their own time with me, so that they wouldn't resent that time, that they had my full attention when it was just one of them, so that they didn't feel like that I was worried about. And I think it worked. I think that they all feel loved and cared for, and they're all each unique, and they all care about each other. That's the most important thing, because it's love that matters with all of us.
One of the things that I think that you've also taught your kids is to give back. You're a very giving person. Do you think she did a good job as far as being a mom and making sure you all got it?
She did a good job of responsibly making sure that each of us got all the attention that we deserve.
I think she did. I do, and I get tearful here because you, as a family, you're so important to me. But Jeannette, you really did balance a lot of things, plus your own personal stuff that, and so I just think, but you got support too.
Yes.
And I think
Yes.
that's something that we do need to highlight, that
Yes.
if as a parent, if you don't have support, it's.
You learn to ask for help when you need it. That's crucial. That was very hard for me, but you have to ask for help, and you have to not be afraid to ask, and to know that somebody might say no, but somebody also might say yes. You'll never know unless you ask them.
And sometimes people say no because they can't, not
Right.
because they don't want to,
Right.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Erin, what do you think about being on this TV show?
It's a wonderful experience
Yeah, what's wonderful about it?
that I get to share about what it's like to be on the spectrum for people like me.
And to give hope, right?
Correct.
Did you ever not have hope? It's okay if you didn't. That's part of the journey.
No,
You always had hope.
I always had hope.
That's good, because not everybody does. And what gave you hope?
That I have a very special gift.
So you always saw your autism as a gift.
Yep.
You're very lucky.
Mm-hmm.
You are very lucky, and I think that you it's inspiring, and it's also what's inspiring is to know that autism doesn't have to be bad right from the beginning for everybody. You were able to have the gentle. You're just a big bear, a big gentle bear, and I mean that with all my heart. Right?
Right.
I'm not making fun of you, I'm giving you a big compliment. Yeah. All right. So we are about ready to wrap it up. And I want to thank everybody once again for joining us. And I want to thank you guys for being here. And please stay tuned for Life on the Spectrum, because we got some good episodes. We've already taped them, and we've got some more coming up. So again, thank you very much, and thank you Nutmeg TV, and we'll see you again soon.